Could you give maybe a kind of feedback of the last 5 or 4 days here in Vienna and Kirchbach? What are you taking with you to Ireland? Yeah. Would you like to start, Elfie?
Okay, I think for me the KB5 was a fascinating place to visit, and I really enjoyed being there and the presentations and having an opportunity to talk to everyone. And I think there was lots of food for thought in Florian's presentation, and in fact in them all. And it was wonderful to meet Helmut. I enjoyed the other days as well. I think I would have liked to have had more time to maybe to speak to some of the people on Friday, because it felt very intense and we were kind of rushed. So I haven't really had time to kind of think back on those days. I was very interested in the visit across the road to with Walter.
Karl Zeitzhof.
Yes, that was fascinating.
And you, Liz?
Well, I missed the visits on Friday, but going to visit on Saturday on our way to KB5 was very interesting, because it was meeting a regional development manager with a lot of resources, a lot of funding, and he gave an overview of how he worked. And I thought it was interesting because it was different to the way in which we would work. I felt he had a fantastic vision, but I didn't think it was a vision that was tied into the community with which he worked. And I would be very interested to explore that in more detail, because to me it raises a question: how can you really change a situation if you don't really bring your local community on board? KB5 was fantastic, all of the presentations, and particularly in contrast with the meeting on Saturday. The young man who presented on the sustainable development programs in the University of Graz was really, really interesting, because they worked very closely, it appeared, with the community that they were involved with. So they had a goal of sharing their learnings and with the community, but also really identifying that they could learn from the local players. And to see an academic institution come out of their ivory tower, which was what I thought it was very exciting, and raised real questions for me as to how could we do that in Ireland? Okay, and could we challenge, because we work with the universities, but I wouldn't feel that they have that approach. So that was really fantastic. The centre, the KB5 centre, was wonderful. There was an ethos there of attention to the physical surroundings, which he talked about. Not Franz. No, not from there. Oh God, we've been driving with him. I've just a mental block. Who drove us? Florian. Florian touched on it in his speech. He talked about enabling space and the importance of space as a learning environment. And I just loved the space there. The attention to beauty, to warmth, to hospitality was very striking. And like yourself, Avril, I loved Florian's presentation. I think we will take that away with us, reflect on it, and learn from it. And I think we could do more. There are 3 areas that I've really identified: the university, KB5, and Florian's presentation, that I would really like to do more work around. And so I think that's very exciting. So whereas I was sorry to miss Friday, I've got an awful lot to take away. And it's maybe one of the things I would say in terms of evaluating the programmes. Don't give us too much, because you can be easily overwhelmed and lose the significant pieces that might be most central. The distance learning model that they have in KB5 with video links and video bridging is something I think we'd really love to know a lot more about. And the other thing was the partying was great. And I just think it really struck me that the people that we have started this learning partnership with are really growing as partners and people. And that's what learning is about, ultimately, the relationship, not the curriculum. So that, to me, has been really important.
Do you have some thoughts how you can use this, what you have seen here in Austria, in Vienna, in Kirchbach, how you can maybe use this in Ireland, maybe in some projects? Are there some ideas, thoughts? Yeah.
Well, one of the things that we are going to do, because we have an open learning centre and we have some funding to look at how we can better utilise IT and to help us to integrate IT into our curriculum and help us, how would you put it, use like the whole idea of the video bridging and the video conferencing, and to enable people to be more self-directed in their learning and access materials or information more. I think the other bit is the universities, that whole thing of the interdisciplinary bit and the transdisciplinary, isn't that the other? And the focus groups that he spoke about. So that would be a chat, which would be interesting to see if we could have some conversation with one of the universities about that. And we found out...
He has already given us the link to Limerick University, where they have a similar approach, and that's, I think, something we'll really look at, because I think I'd like to bring that into Ireland.
Clemens Mader gave you this?
Yes, he gave us the link, and I think they're part of an international group that are focusing on this. So I think we could connect with Limerick and see how they could support us as a community facility to use those techniques and that model and bring it. I think it's been great challenges.
It's been very good.
Very good. So thank you so much.